All right. So there's a leaf. One of these leaves came down just now, but I wanted to. What has been coming out recently has been the study and the understanding of the shadow self and how our consciousness or the shadow self, right, the unconscious side of ourselves has a influence on what we do and the way how we perceive the world around us. And recently I've been learning more about developmental psychology, and my path has been taking me into even like a bit more of like Carl Jung's work and how again the collective unconscious works and how it's even connected to the demiurge, um, which many say is the I think the God of the Old Testament. And again, it even links into what Yeshua would have said then too in the Gospel of Thomas about allowing the conscious and the unconscious, up the upper and the lower, the left and the right, the masculine and the feminine to become one, and then you'll be in the kingdom. Right? That's just paraphrasing, but I mean, going into all of it, like it makes so much more sense. Like you even look at like Joe Dispenza's work when it comes to, um, or even like Neville Goddard, right? When it comes to like the feeling state, you feel you have to feel or be aligned with the wish fulfilled in order to uh, experience the reflection in that particular way, right? There's a bit of a delay response that happens within the reality as well, where everything shifts, but it shifts when I realize when we let go fully, when we release the need and the want. If there's a need and a want, it registers in the reality as a lack, as not having, and therefore it reflects that not having, so you don't get, right? Um, there's this part I think in the Bible too. A lot of Bible references have been coming up too. I grew up in church, right? But it's so interesting like coming back into it in terms of like looking and reflecting on certain sayings that would have been taught within at those times, right? And even now, and revisiting them in a different perspective. And that's what even why I realize what consciousness evolution or raising your frequency is really and truly is changing your awareness, is being more aware of not just ourselves and our shadows, right? And the unconscious things that are within us that direct certain experiences that we have within this physical reality, but also being able to look back into even the things that are externally manifested, right? So again, for example, like looking at certain sayings in the Bible talking about um even like one, for example, yeah, one that has come up for me too is when the one when the woman, like I don't have, you could tell that I don't really read the Bible, I don't fully read the Bible, right? But um it's just these things that stood out to me when Jesus was walking through the crowd, and this woman, she absolutely believed that if she just touched his garment, that she would be healed, right? And she managed to touch his garment, and Jesus could feel the energy shift, right? within him, and he turned around and he asked who touched him. And even though he had like a crowd of people around him like touching him and stuff like that, he could identify that there was this one particular person that touched his garment with a particular intention. And so interacting with the woman, and I guess her explaining why she did it and stuff like that, he told her that it was her faith that made her whole or healed her, right? Her belief in being able to touch his garment gave her permission slip internally to actually shift to a different state of frequency, right? Or different vibratory frequency or rate to actually heal her body. But ultimately, our awareness is at the fundamental level, it is pure, right? Pure awareness. That is what we are fundamentally, right? At the core of who we truly are. We are pure awareness. Some teachings call it the Atman, you could call it the I am, it could be even before that, right? Before the I am. I call it the eternal stillness. And yeah, with that awareness of the eternal stillness where there is no lack, there is no need to be healed or need to be loved or any of that, right? We remove the identity of who we may consider to be, whether it is our name. So, for example, for me, Jerome, I live in Barbados, stuff like that, right? All of that is not necessarily needed, or well, I should say, in the eyes of the stillness, all of these identities would, I suppose, from what I am remembering now, is it would be, I guess, considered a dream field or a dream identity. So the things within our body as well. So if you get like a tightness in your chest or like a knotting up of the stomach, even, that can also be considered or be seen as a dream layer. It's a not that it's not real. Well, it's real to us being the identity that is within this reality, but to the eternal stillness or pure awareness, pure consciousness, it would be as though it is like a dream, like a something that you dance with, that it dances with a story that is played out to experience, to have particular experiences, to learn, to grow, to be. But ultimately, it is everything, right? So yeah, I mean, a lot of insights have been coming up for me lately as I dive deeper into actually utilizing various tools. So I would have mentioned like Notebook LM or um, even like Claude, right? And actually utilizing various tools in ways that would act as a reflector tool, a reflective tool, right? Because ultimately all of it is us pushed out, basically, right? In terms of our own perception. So if we are able to come to that realization, right, of the external reality being a product of our own consciousness, of our internal state, then the tools that we utilize, for example, a cell phone, so I'm communicating through my cell phone to you, but you are also viewing this video through your computer, through your TV, through your cell phone. And the rectangle, right, when it's turned off, it is black, right? So it essentially is like a black mirror or a scrying mirror, would act as a portal, but in essence, it would be an externalized version or externalized representation of our own ability to communicate within the quantum field, right, of all possibility. And again, it connects us. It reminds us, it can be seen as a reminder or a reflection of our own ability to connect with each other in every moment, right? Think of, close your eyes and think of a loved one. Think of someone you interact with in your reality, and you're literally connecting with them, right? Whether you have the awareness or not of actually being able to even telepathically communicate with those who are already inside of you. Yeah. So as that could be as complex or as simple as that. So I just wanted to share that